Hey guys, welcome to this will be actually my first M13 draft. I've been holding off on recording these because I wanted to play some, understand the format a little better, and also make sure I upload some content that's been sitting around. And two cards immediately stick out to me in this pack. Murder, which is the premiumness removal and possibly one of the best colors of M13 in black. And also Talrin, the Sky Summoner. Neither of these are. Talon's not really worth money. I think it might be like a buck online, so that doesn't really factor into the equation. Other cards in the pack of interest. Heal of the Pride is actually kind of nice in that format. It has a relatively strong body, so it blocks very well. And instant on life gain's not bad. Turn to Slag is still all right. A little bit overpriced removal, but it's good against the rings if you can get them before the toughness gets too high and that kind of stuff. Fogbank is just the asshole card. Anyways, so this pack, blue is my favorite color, so I think I'm going to take Talon. He also seems really fun to build around. Murder may, in fact, be the stronger card, but like if you can build around Talon, right, he's also very powerful. And hey, we just got past the best uncommon in the set. Like, this thing is basically Lingering Souls in one color. It's not even funny. What did they take over this? An uncommon. Not sure what uncommon I would take over Talon's Invocation, but I think it'll go perfectly with the man himself. Might as well talk about other stuff. Touch of the Eternal is kind of a weird rare. I don't actually know if it's playable and limited. I'm sure like you can get to the state where if you have a lot of permanents, it's quite good. Maybe in the token decks and like, but it's still 7 mana, right? Other things. This guy is pretty solid 2-drop. But yeah, definitely taking Talon's Invocation. So I like the way our deck's looking already. Okay, this pack. Wow, this is a pretty good pack. Only blue card is Divination, and while that does go well with Talrand, there are better instants and sorceries we could be taking here. I think Essence Drain is a little. I'm a big fan of Essence Drain. The life gain swings races. It's effective removal, but that said, I think it's a little weaker than the red removal here. Now, I think Volcanic Geyser is better than Searing Spear, although Searing Spear is quite good. Searing Spear is easier to splash, but I think it's early enough on that I can just take this Volcanic Geyser and try and be in red. I mean, I think it is worse than Fireball. Being instant speed is not super relative, but still fine. Alright, this pack. Goblin Arsonist is actually quite good for a 1-drop. He plays defense really well, and because there's a lot of X1s. Definitely going to take the shiny Fairy Invaders, however. Fuck non-foil. Foil Fairy Invaders. These guys are a really good creature, especially in the control decks, because you don't have to tap out, and they ambush in combat very well. Yeah. Okay. This pack. I could take. I guess I should go Cosmore, but Fire Elemental, but our curve's already looking kind of high. There's no instants or sorceries. Ring of Xanthrid is the best ring, and it's probably the only one I would play off color. Is that worth taking? That, or I can just go with the Kraken Hatchling, since it looks like we're kind of drafting the control deck. You know, I'm going to take the 5th pick Kraken Hatchling and see what we can do with that. Here, this is a tough one. I'm a big fan of Scroll Thief. I got 5 in an M11 draft once. That was pretty sweet. Sign in Blood is fine. This thing I don't think is that playable and limited. Wall of Fire could fit. I'm really tempted to take the Mindclaw Shaman, because this is so dead in some matchups. But I've never actually played with this card yet. I kind of just want to try it. It's early in the format. Alright, I'm going to take Mindclaw Shaman, even though it's worse for our curve and potentially worse than Scroll Thief. I'm interested. Okay. Mark Immunity is an instant sorcery, same with Mind Sculpt. And we do want to get more of those. Wall of Fire is better than most walls because it can usually kill something on defense. But I think I'm just going to take Arctic Haven. We can splash Plains Fun, Evolving Wilds. I might not even play it, but like none of these cards excite me too much, and that's a really strong card. So, okay. Nothing we really think we would play here, unless maybe if we go in a way. But I'm just going to take our Archaeomancer. If we get more instants and sorcerers, which we want to do to work with Talrand, our Archaeomancer is also very good. Index is not one of the instants or sorceries I want. What would be... I guess Wild Guess is what I'd play. Like, this is actually a decent sideboard card against some red decks. You just gotta make sure they don't have a Searing Spear out when you try and cast it. Hydro Surge is god-awful. Index is potentially even worse. Yeah, I guess Wild Guess is what I have the most chance of playing out of all. Like, I've never... I know this card just seems a little too weak for my tastes. But it's probably alright. This pack... Jeez, what do I want? Just another wild. I'm just gonna take the rare. To not play it, but... I'm leaving Arctic Haven in there just for consideration. Huh. Who would I rather have out of... Oh, I got a text. Who would I rather have out of Canyon Minotaur and Fire Elemental? Never really considered that. I actually don't know if I want the Hill Giant or the Lots of Power. I'm just gonna go with Fire Elemental. Might be wrong. But, I don't know. Okay. Hydro Surge here. That will be playing it. If I have to play it, like, I don't mind playing Talrand with, like, I do want more in Sinister Sorcerers than what I have right here, but, like, Harbor Serpent might not actually be awful in our deck, and certainly fine in some matchups. Yeah, you want more for Talrand, but, like, I think it's a decent enough card. Like, I'll cut Archaeomancer if I don't get enough quality ones, but Talrand I'll probably leave in there. Invocation is obviously, you know, the best card in our deck. It's very strong, so, yeah. I think one reason I maybe should consider Canyon Minotaur is that we're probably looking to be kind of heavy blue. Like, that's why Wild Guess isn't that great as well. So, Wall of Fire, I'll leave that in there for now as well. We're probably looking to be kind of heavier blue. So, I don't know how good, well, it's a 5-drop, so we're hoping I have double red, but, like, might have been worth considering Canyon Minotaur because it is only single red, so we'll have to see. Okay, this pack, we have a Welkin Turn, which is a good aggressive flyer. Krenko's Command, which makes dudes this guy, who I'm actually a bigger fan of because I love Horned Turtles, even if it costs 1. And he does do work by himself, kind of. Horned Turtles are good, though. I almost always... I would just play Horned Turtle in a lot of decks. But yeah, I'm just going to take another Fireball here. So... what were some other good cards on pack outside of colors? I think there's like a Hunt Beast in there. There's Rock's Faithmender, which I actually think is alright. He's like a Horned Turtle plus, really. Like, he blocks really well, because he gains you 2 life every time he gets in combat, in addition to blocking one of their larger things, since he's a 1/5. So, yeah, I think he's good in. Alright. Wildfire, or Worldfire, sorry. Wildfire is a much better card. This is unplayable and limited. Not only will you never cast it, but when you cast it, you won't do anything. So, Unsummon is good value, but Sleep is, it's kind of hard to set up. You have to set up for it, but there are a few other cards that win you the game as hard as this one does, so. And, also works well with this guy right here. Okay, what do we have in this pack? Clock of Omens, potentially the worst card in the set. Downpour, although it's instant sorcery, I'm not a fan of. I would just much rather prefer Frost Breath. Or frickin' Crippling Chill. I love Crippling Chill. You can never have too many Crippling Chills in here. Yeah, it's just Scroll Thief here. I mean, I like it more than Reckless Brood, especially in the kind of deck we look to be drafting. The 1/3 is not a bad blocker, and when it gets in there, you get the card draw. Alright. Here. Oh man. Oh man. Oh boy, oh man. No, we're not doing that. Muck Waiter, well, no, because we're already probably cutting, although, is he better than Avon if you're not? I don't know, I think I'd rather just have the flyer if you're not splashing at least the other half. Oh, so I'm just going to take Divination here, because it's value and it works well with Talrand. This is I like the way Mark Rosewater describes this card. He says that you can have spike cards if the 3/player. You can have spike cards without them being overpowered or very strong. Like, this is the definition of a spike card because it's only really as good technically as the rest of your deck, and you know I like the way he described it. Here I really want to take Arsonist. I just don't know if I can use Mark of Mutiny properly. It is a little better in sealed than it is in draft in my experience. It's that or the Entrancer, just because he blocks. So does Arsonist. I guess I'll go with the Entrancer. I don't know. That could be wrong. I am a big fan of Arsonist. Excuse me. Okay, wow, that's a late Blood Hunter bat, because it's like Black's best common creature. Definitely going to take Essence Scatter here. I don't mind playing one counterspell, especially when it's looking like we're going to have man open on turn 2. And like a lot of other things in our deck, hopefully it works well with Talrand. So we don't need another Archaeomancer. Archaeomancer might be like alright in our deck right now. We'll probably play him at the moment, but like I'd prefer more stuff still. If we go to type sort, what are we looking at in terms of 7, but I don't really want to play Wild Guess, so let's find more. Let's find more. Okay, this pack negates fine. Tricks of the Trade can be a blowout if you actually pull it off. I don't think we need Jam. I'm just gonna go with Rummaging Goblin because I'm a huge fan of him. Obviously not as good as Merfolk Looter, but you know he feels like Merfolk Looter in lieu of the man himself being here. Torch Fiend is probably fine. He's a 2-drop. I don't want to play Craterize, even if it's in their sorcery. Same with Hydra Surge. But yeah, he's good against artifacts, and he is also good at beating down in the early game. So, okay. So do I want Krenko's Command? I think in our deck we just want another Entrancer, maybe. I mean, once you get a bunch of them, they can kind of be a win condition, and like, kind of. I think I'd rather have one in the Arsonist still, actually, but this one's shiny, and you know. All right, let's just take this because it's a mythic, and I'm not playing any of these other cards. I mean, the most playable out of all those is Tormod's Crypt, and would you bring that in against in this format, like the 6 Rise from the Grave deck? Nice. All right, we're gonna take Downpour. Not gonna play it. Guess we're gonna take another Wall of Fire here. I don't really want to play 1, although it might be alright in our deck. But I certainly won't be playing 2. Another Wild Guess. Same statement I just made about Wall of Fire applies there. Reliquary Tower. I don't really think there's much of a point to that Unlimited. Although, it'd be interesting. I mean, like, if you're like the 6 Divination guy, maybe. Okay, we got another Archdruid. Sorry, not another Volcanic Geyser. Archdruid is our rare. We got a shiny. No, that's not shiny. What the hell I think that's shiny? That's just a Sarah Angel. Okay. What do I want here? Do I just want another Fireball, or would I rather have the cheat removal at this point? I think I'm just inclined to take Searing Spear here because we already have 2 Volcanic Geysers. Although those Volcanic Geysers are just a lot better. I don't know. Yeah, I think I just want Searing Spear here. I guess you can have too many Volcanic Geysers. Wow. I don't think we've passed another one. I think that's the first one we've passed last draft. And we have another Searing Spear, which is probably I think about trying Trading Posts if we had some other artifacts or something, and like Welcome Turn's fine. Blade Tusk Boar is probably pretty good in our deck, actually. Welcome Turn is not great in our deck. We want to be blocking in the early game, although I'm a big fan of the card. But yeah, just going to be another Searing. So would I rather have 2 and 2 or 3 and 1, I guess? Whoa! Alright, someone's passing good cards our way. This is an 8-4, right? Not a sub-Swiss draft or something? I don't know. Anyways, likely neither of them were just in blue. It's not a card you can splash. So we get another one, and then we get another very powerful flyer in the Firewing Phoenix. Yeah, this card, triple red is a little rough to bring it back. That said, it's still very good, just as a 4/2 flyer for 4, so definitely the pick here. Okay, our curve is a little high, but Fairy Invaders is just so much better than Goblin Arsonist. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of Goblin Arsonist, but Fairy Invaders is so much better. I think that's just what I have to take here. Alright, let's just take the second Fairy Invaders. Here, I don't know. Yeah, because we're not playing this Arctic Haven. We don't really need to. So maybe, do we have enough removal that I pass on the turn to slag? I don't think I should pass on the turn to... Yeah, came into her also be fine, but we got a lot of 4-drops. I'm really tempted just to take Windrake just to have the flyer, but... Yeah, I don't think I can pass on the turn to slag. It is still removal. Huh. I don't think I need to play any of these cards. We already have 2 Wall of Fires. We want one. Kindled Fury is like a mediocre combat. I guess it's fine for 1 mana. Don't want another Harbor Serpent, given that's probably just going to be a sideboard. I don't know, I guess I just take the second Harbor Serpent, because, like, if I face, like, another blue control deck, they're definitely really good in that matchup, so I could always just bring in both. I really want... Shit, these cards are both really good as well, to be honest. Oh, and Crust is fine. It's like, it's not Claustrophobia, but the activated ability stuff is nice. Fairy Invaders, we already got 2. I want to take Gil. I don't know. I mean, it's always gonna be kind of playable on our deck, just kind of these things. Let me just, I don't have Time Checkers worth something. Whatever, I think we got it. I'm just gonna take it, and maybe it's even worth something as well. Chromanaton is actually a really solid 1-drop. He's a little better in sealed, just like the rings and stuff. But he ticks up. Whoa, this thing wheeled. Sweet. That will most likely make our deck. I think we're definitely in the right colors. Cleaverite, I considered like at the beginning of the format, and then I just like thought about it. I'm just like, no, it's not worth it. Maybe if Double Strike worked differently, where like if you kill your guy, the normal combat damage still hits them, but it doesn't. Blade Test 4, he's just better than Canyon Minotaur in the majority of matchups, because even when you're playing against the red deck, it still limits their blocks. I don't care. Yeah, even when you're... I'm not going to worry about cutting stuff until I get the deck building. Even when you are playing against the red deck, it still does... Intimidate limits your blocks. Because not every one of your creatures is going to be red. Unless you had a special kind of draft, but... Usually. Alright, let's get into deck building. I'll see you guys in there. Okay, like I said, Gilgamesh can... stay out for the time being. I think Torchfiend is alright. Maybe, I think our deck might want 1 Wall of Fire, but I won't be afraid to cut it. That's definitely him. Gonna try Mindclaw Shaman since I picked him up so early. Fire Elemental's fine. Fireballs are good. This guy I think is good for a deck, the Kraken Hatchling. Divination, Scroll Thief. Arcane Monster is probably already in a deck. It's pretty savage if we turn like a Invocation, we got 2 of those, or a Fireball or a Sleep, and yeah, he's probably pretty good in our deck. Okay, so that's 26 cards here. And that's without a couple other things I could play, but I think we're going to make the cuts from here. I guess Torchfiend can go. I mean, like, I'll bring him in against artifacts, but like a Goblin Piker is not that important for our deck. Shit. I really want to cut Mindclaw Shaman. Probably one of these. No, I guess they'd cut a Wall of Fire before an Entrancer. Probably. And then... I don't know. Mindclaw Shaman, like, I think I like Fire Elemental more than Mindclaw Shaman, to be honest. Yeah, let's just cut the fire. Okay, I think we have enough ways to win that we just want more value. This does look like a pretty sweet deck. I'm kind of happy with it. Chronomaton's not fantastic, but like, yeah. But he, like I said, he's good. I definitely want to play both these guys because they form an alternative win condition together. Like, and they block well, which we want for deck. Wall of Fire also blocks well. That's why I want Kraken Hatchling in here, because it comes down on turn 1 and blocks well. A Fog Bank would be really sweet for this deck. Unfortunately, the only one we saw was pack 1, pick 1, and I had to take a Talrand, because how could I not? Let's just see what spell non-spell looks like. All are 2 drop. Maybe that is a reason to run Torchfiend. We don't actually have a real 2-drop. That and well, Talon's Invocation is really a creature, so that I mean that's like how we're gonna be winning a lot of games, I think, on the backs of those flyers. So yeah, I think this is what I'm gonna go with. I really want to put Fire Element in over Mindclaw Shaman, which seems weird, but we do have a lot of 4-drops, a lot. Is that way Gilded Lotus might be good, because it lets us start doubling up on 4-drops. I don't think I should start Gilded Lotus, so it doesn't seem quite worth it to me. So yeah, I think this is the deck. Let's add some lands. 10-7 sounds about right to me. Oops. Yep. Yep, 10-7 sounds about right to me. Let's do that. Let's submit. Relevant sideboard cards, I guess after I submit, we can look up here. Harbor Serpents against other blue control-y decks. Wall of Fire is like an alright blocker. We can bring those in. Fire Elemental, if it doesn't look like Mindclaw Shaman's doing anything against them. Torch Fiend if they have artifacts, / we just want a 2-drop. And Gilded Lotus if I feel like going for awesome shenanigans. I don't know. I really want to play Gilded Lotus, but maybe I side Mindclaw Shaman up for Gilded Lotus. I don't know. Anyways, this is what we're gonna go with. And I'll see you guys in round 1. Definitely happy with the deck, so hopefully this will be a good draft. Okay, so here we are, round 1. Our opponent